Alright, so we're a quarter of the way through the year in the UFC, and I'm just going to go through every single card in the first quarter and then give basically what my evaluation of the stock would be coming into, what is it, April, May. Ooh, excuse me. So, first and foremost, we had the Justin Gaethje Paddy Pimblett fight. First and foremost, they were signed to Paramount, so I'm just gonna evaluate it as $100. Just there, right here, January 1st. It was a great card. I'm gonna go through just the first three fights. It was the Justin Gaethje Paddy Pimblett decision, which was great. Song Yadong Sean O'Malley fight, which was all right but very forgetful. And then Derek Lewis Waldo Cortez Acosta. That wasn't great. Derek Lewis did kind of give up in that fight. So I did kind of give it a 7 out of 10 in that regard. It kind of bumped it down to say about $80, $85 around there. Where am I? Oh, geez. Next up, we had the Volkanovski Lopez 2 card. A full 1 week later, two pay per view cards, which I think was mostly because Paramount signing and all that stuff. They wanted to get two pay per views. That one was a great card. I believe it was Dan Hooker, Benoit, Rafael Fiziev, Mauricio Hoofy, which was a good fight. Dan Hooker, Benoit St. Denis, good fight. Diego Lopez, Alexander Volkanovski, not such a good fight. It was more of the same thing that we saw in the first fight. I gave that an 8 out of 10. I'd say that bumped it to around 80, 85. The Mario Bautista Oliveira fight night was alright. Nobody really watched it. Nobody really cared about it. I didn't, at least. I don't think anybody really remembers it, so it kind of bumped it back down to about 70, 75, and that's when February hits around. We get the Strickland Hernandez fight in Texas, which was great to see. I don't know why my voice just got really low all of a sudden, but we're going to run with it. We had that fight, which was great. Bumped it up to about 85, 90, $90 for the stock. Moreno Kavanaugh was a great one in Mexico, which I gave that, I think, a 7.5, 8 out of 10. It was very forgetful, but there were a couple of really good fights on the prelims, but it wasn't very notable. So I'd say that gave it around 70, 75. I think if I can just pull it up real quick. Yeah, I had it right here. Hold on. So I had it right here in January. It started out at 100 during the Paddy Pimblett Justin Gaethje one. And then after that, they had the February was what? Volkanovski Lopez and then Mario Bautista. It was only one fight card throughout the entire month, basically. Well, two technically, because I mean it was January 24th, January 31st, but the January card only had one, so I bumped it down to 75 in February. We had a couple of really good cards after that, where we had the, hold on, let me just get this real quick, where it came back to Max Holloway Oliveira 2, very uneventful. Emmett Vallejos, kind of alright, nobody really remembers that much. Evloev Murphy, people kind of remember. Israel Adesanya Piper, people kind of remember that one mostly because of the big name of Adesanya, which I think bumped it up into April, if I can show that. Going up to 100, going back basically to even, because people were more notable, people knew about it, and then you can see here it kind of just skyrockets over the next couple of weeks. And that was because of the next couple of fight cards. The Moicano Duncan fight, nobody really watched very much of it, but it was a good fight card all in all, with the Jandaroba Richie and Abdul Rahman Yakayev. And then not to mention Ethan Ewing also getting a win on that one. But then we had the Yuri Prochazka Olberg upset in Perth, or in Miami, Florida. We had the Winnipeg card with Burns Mallet, and then we had the Sterling Zalal fight in Las Vegas, which I think bumped it straight up to 160, around there, 160, 165. And we can see throughout May We already have the two events, Jack Della Maddalena and Carlos Prates, and then the Shemaev Strickland fight. I think these two are going to be sending this stock, if I can go there real quick. I'd say up to about, we could see it going up to around 200, I'd say. Easy. If they pull off a good card upcoming this next couple of weeks, because I know that they're going to be outshined this weekend, or, well, a couple weekends back with the Netflix card. But they do have a couple of alright sneaky cards. Alan Costa going to be shadowed. Yadong Figueiredo going to be alright. Mohammed Bonfim is going to be alright. And then the 250 Freedom card in June is going to be wrapping up quarter 2 with Fiziev Torres and Cape Koraguchi. And then we still don't know 329 or the fight night next, but International Fight Week is going to be nice. It's going to bring the stock way up. And I just kind of wanted to give a little bit of a breakdown and what I kind of think the stock should be going towards coming into July. So I guess I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.